Hello, hello. Welcome to today's deep dive. Let's see who's rolling in. Oh, we already have 20 attendees here. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're so glad you could join us today. If you guys want to get the chat warmed up, that'd be appreciated. We'd love to know your first name, where you're calling in from, what causes and organizations you're working with. Thanks, Grace and Stephen, for kicking us off. Hello, everyone. Just taking a few minutes while more attendees drop in. Of course, we'll share a recording of this after, so that if you weren't able to join us today, you could follow along later at your convenience. Ooh, the chat is heating up. Hello, hello. Our friends from Nashville. Hey, Nick, Heather, Maria, George. Thanks, everyone. Some California friends here. The Boy Scouts are with us. Hello, Charles. Save the Bees in Nevada. Oh, hey, everyone. Buffalo, New York. Hi, Patrick. Hi, Jessica in Massachusetts. Hey, Tanner from DC. Hi, Barb. Okay, we're going to give people about 60 more seconds to join us before we get started today on our integrations deep dive. All right, very nice. Well, I wanted to thank everyone for joining us before we got started. Today, we are going to do a deep dive into integrations on Givebutter. I'm glad that everyone was able to make it. So to get started, I'm doing a new format to deep dive presentations, and I'm going to try to share 2 of my screens at once so that I can show you guys the PowerPoint slides that I put together, and then also show you the dashboard in real time. So I hope you like this format. If you have any feedback on that, I'd like to know, and I want to make sure that, everyone can see what we're working on. So to kick us off, we'll just go through our agenda quickly. We'll do welcomes and intros, which we sort of already started. We'll get right into the deep dive. And then we'll talk about some things that are on the horizon, recent updates. We'll do a live Q&A, and then we'll talk about upcoming webinars. All right, so thanks everyone again for being here today. Some quick housekeeping is please use the Q&A to ask your questions. We love the chat, especially to kick us off and to welcome everyone. So thanks for using that so well. Please remember to be kind and respectful, of course. Stephen, thank you so much from our success team. We'll be moderating the Q&A chat for me at the end, and then also answering questions throughout. And then Grace, thank you so much for helping to moderate the chat with all of the Help Center links and celebrations in there. So thank you. All right, so if this is your first time joining a deep dive, my name is Tori Meglio. I'm a product manager at Givebutter. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is home for me. You can see some of the causes close to my heart, and if you want to follow along with me, check me out on LinkedIn. So thanks again for being here. Okay, so first to kick off integrations. There's a couple different types of integrations on Givebutter. That is integrations that are baked right into our dashboard, something that we've designed ourselves to help make the process of talking to other platforms more seamless for you. There are integrations with third-party software solutions, and then there are things that follow under integrations that it's really a developer extension of our platform. So we're going to talk today about the developer extensions, which are elements, as well as the third-party platforms we connect with, and then a platform called Zapier, which is the ability to use Zapier as a third-party solution to connect to existing platforms that you use for automation. Okay, so to kick off, we're going to be talking about elements. So again, as I mentioned, if you're watching this now or later, we're going to send you the PowerPoint in a follow-up, which is going to contain a lot of the links that you see here so that you can look at demos afterwards or see the marketing or help center sites. Okay, so elements inside Givebutter is the ability to embed Givebutter elements onto a specific part of your website by copying and pasting a unique HTML code into the editor area of your website. So the types of elements that we offer are the ability to embed a button on your site, the ability to embed a traditional form like our existing embeddable widget, and the ability to add a button to your website. And so a button would function something similar to what you're used to in the Givebutter chat window, but I'll show you exactly what that looks like in real time. So this is our demo site, which this is linked in our help center. So if you want to explore it later, you have the ability to do that. But a button looks something like this. So you can add this code anywhere on your website. So when someone clicks on it, someone asked me to make my screen bigger. Can I get a thumbs up if that looks good? Great. Okay, so this is the donate button. So you'll see that the form automatically pops up here. And so you're having this really friendly donor experience that you're already used to seeing on your campaign pages. So just like everything that you have there, you have everything that you have on your campaign pages or forms, you have the option to have a goal bar. You have the option to have recurring donations, as well as different amounts here, denominations, and then you'll see all of your secure payment methods. And if you had custom fields, they would show up here as well on your campaign. Okay, so that is the button. Very donor friendly, website friendly. We're going to go over a little bit of the integration of how we get it on our site as well too. But before we do that, let me show you what else a button can look like. So it's a good idea to, if you're trying to drive for donations, that you would include the ability to donate somewhere in your header here, right? So if you're looking at what your other pages might be, keeping that header on every page, the ability to support your cause can be really powerful. So you can customize this button to whatever color you'd like to fit your branding exactly. So that's buttons. The second option is a form, which this is really similar to, if you're familiar with Givebutter, our existing embeddable widget. And this is the ability for you to, instead of asking someone to click on a button to donate, is to show it alongside other text, right? So here's an example of it next to your mission. A form can also be embedded in the footer of your website if that's something you're interested in. And you could also embed it in a pop-up window. So sometimes we have set marketing timers, right, on our websites with the ability to send a promotional pop-up whenever someone's been X minutes on the site or some sort of criteria like that amount of visits. So you can embed this using the HTML in those advertisements as well. And then my favorite option that we offer here is the bubble. So whenever you see me scrolling up and down here, This Support Now bubble stayed justified to the bottom right-hand corner. When I click on it, it's going to become a donation form as well. So everything we experienced in the payment flow of a button and a form, we also see here with the bubble. So this has all the bells and whistles enabled on it, right? You don't have to do all three types on your website, but they do serve different reasons. So I would say that some examples that we've seen are if you have multiple causes with different pages about those causes, you'd have the ability to donate to those specific causes on those pages, right? So you can have unlimited elements, forms, for example, but you can only have one donate button at a time. And so inside the Givebutter dashboard, which I'll show you shortly, you have the ability to say at what given time which campaign do I want to display in the Support Now? Do I want to have it be the tickets to my gala? Do I want it to be just always my general donation? You have the ability to control it at any given time, which is pretty neat. And then depending on how your website is set up or just your needs for funding different campaigns, you can embed those completely to your liking. So I'm excited to see what you guys come up with for putting those to work. So for the installation, we have here in my slideshow, I also highlight that we have a recording of exactly what the installation process looks like. You'll see it's also embedded here in our Help Center guide. And I take you step by step through the installation in a video recorded there, and then also in screenshots here. So I'm going to use these screenshots to really speak to what that installation process looks like. So whenever you're inside your account settings, integrations, elements, you have the ability to decide if you'd like to embed which type of element. And so in the designer here, I might be able to show you some in real time. So in our elements tab, we see the ability to create a new element. So do we know which one we'd like to create? Great, we could select that. We could add an internal name. So whatever you'd like to call this, the Donate Now button. You can point the specific campaign there. You could change the color and the text. Also, as well as the outline and the corner radius to just completely fit your brand. Then you'll click Create Element, and we will have walked you through in the video exactly where you need to add this code to your website. Because this is a button, it would be in an HTML code box right on your website page where you'd like to see that button pop up, okay? So we have a whole set of guides for you here, depending on how much customization you'd like to have control over. If you have more developer experience, or you have a technical team member that you get to hand these things off to, we would recommend sending them along this information, including the developer's guide. Okay, so again, lots of customization available there. We try to make it as easy as possible to use the feature in the dashboard, but we want to make sure if your team needs added control over that, you have it. So again, just showing the ability to edit a form. At any given time, you can point a form to a different campaign, okay? So that is integrations of elements. I'm not going to make you watch my video right now. I'm going to pause and see if we have any elements questions right now, because I see some might be here in my Q&A. Charles asks, do you have an option to change the heart icon on the bubble/button? The icon cannot be changed right now, Carl, in the, am I still sharing my screen? Sorry, yes. The icon cannot be changed right now, but we're working on making that editable both in the dashboard and through the API docs. Thanks so much, Stephen. Victoria asks, how does this conversion differ between a button placed on a page, not the header, navigation, and bubble? Sure. So one of the things that makes adding a Givebutter Elements button to your website, as opposed to creating a button through your website editor and adding the URL to your Givebutter campaign, is going to be source tracking. So you're going to have the ability to see information specifically about which transaction came from who on which form or button, which it's just increased analytics and tracking conversions that would be really advantageous there. But as far as how difficult the tech or installation is, it's similar to the process that you're doing right there. So I hope that answers your question, Victoria. Nick asked, are events and e-commerce conversions available to be passed to GA4? Yeah, Nate, they are, or excuse me, Nick, they are. Stephen, would you mind dropping that link for Nick? If you don't have it, Stephen, I would be happy to send it to you at the end of this conversation, Nick. So great. Okay, so the next integration I wanted to go over was double the donation. Sorry, I'm having trouble with my PowerPoint there. So thanks for your patience. Double the donation. We have the ability for you to sync your double the donation account to Givebutter through an integration. This allows you to automatically discover donors matching gift availabilities, eligibilities, and double their impact by making corporate matching donations right baked into your fundraising campaigns. So this is done when through your subscription with Double the Donation, you now have access to add an employee match inquiry at the end of every donation flow. So at the same time someone would be adding in their payment information, they can also identify their employer. So this is really handy, just in how easy it is to say if you're have a specific employer, right? And so a good example is you could just type in Home Depot and you could see all the places that come up that way. And if you type Depot, it'll still come up with those options there. So it's really helping you get the capture of those gifts. And so what's so great about the double the donation integration is that you can identify those matching gift opportunities. You can drive more matches to completion because double the donation is giving you a set of customizable email templates that you can format to help get those individuals who qualify for corporate matching donations, get them to complete those matching donation forms, or you have then the ability to reach out to those donors to get those matches with, in a certain time frame. So it's just really staggering the amount of corporate matching that goes undone, but it's also staggering how much money is raised every year for corporate matching. So if you're interested in that, at the end of this webinar, I'll make a plug for Floyd Jones's webinar where he's going to be having with Double the Donation. So again, really neat integration. As far as installation goes, Double the Donation, you log into your Givebutter account and go to your integrations tab. And it's just available here through your public and private API key. And then it'll pop up on every single Givebutter campaign that you have. Okay, so that is double the donation. And that's what we refer to as a native integration. Another native integration we have is donor search. So donor search is baked right into the Givebutter dashboard inside the contacts tab. So similarly to installing double the donation, donor search, your API key is linked here, and that's how you create the connection between the two platforms, the integration. With donor search, you have the ability to look into the giving capacity of your existing or prospective donors. It's so easy to reveal the giving capacities with just a few clicks, really is what makes this integration unique. So basically how it works is donor search is the leading provider of prospective research for nonprofits of all types. So some organizations might have access to this subscription and not even know it. So it's wealth screening tools. And you can surface that information right inside of your Givebutter contact. So what that looks like is once you've added your API key in, you'd have the ability to select a here we go. Select a contact and add their address in if they don't already have one, as well as any other contact information. The required fields here are first name, last name, and email. You could go into the donor search tab here and click run search, and you'll see the search run. You'll then see information surfaced inside the Givebutter contact based on data inside the donor search profile. And so you can see their donor search rating, their target based on wealth, and additional information about them. If you'd like to view them in donor search, you click the view in donor search button. You're asked to sign into your account and you'll see a profile created for them. Right, and then you can look into more advanced profile searching. Okay, so that can be really great for wealth screening for making those specific large targeted asks. We'd like to know any other ways you imagine using donor search if you want to see any additional enhancements and features. One of the next things we'll be adding is the ability to perform an advanced targeted search based on the information surfaced inside the contact. So saying, I just want to see people whose donor search rating is above X. So if you think that would be helpful or have any ideas about that, please let us know. So I'm going to pause here for a second because I see some questions in the Q&A. There's a nice donor search graphic too. Is the CRM a fee or part of the free platform? Asked Cynthia. Great question, Cynthia. So with Givebutter, there's no subscription fee. The only fee is incurred whenever a transaction is processed. So Stephen, would you please drop the pricing guide for Cynthia? That would be great. Another person asks, so you need to subscribe to Double the Donation first. Yes, you do need to have a Double the Donation subscription to use the integration. If you'd like to get in touch with the Double the Donation team, there is information in our Help Center guide. You can fill out the inquiry form there and they'll help you find pricing that's right for you. Same goes for the donor search team. Correct, Cynthia. For each integration, you need to set up an account with the software platform separate from Givebutter. Kristen, that's a great question about CRM integrations on the horizon. Givebutter has a completely documented resource for you called our sorry, I wanted to maybe pull it up for you. called our roadmap here, our feedback roadmap. And you can see at any given time, oh, sorry, that's not loading well. You can see at any given time what other softwares people are interested in having integrated with. A lot of requests for those softwares are integrated using Zapier. And so if you wanted to use a third-party Zapier, I'll answer that later in my presentation. But if this is something where you'd like a native integration with one of those platforms, similarly to the native integrations I've described here with Double the Donation and Donor Search, then you could upvote that on our product roadmap. Okay, so Stephen will share that product roadmap guide for you. Excellent. So another third-party integration that we offer is Bloomerang. So really great partnership with the Bloomerang team. This is the ability to sync your Givebutter transactions into your Bloomerang account automatically. So you can sync all of your transactions, donations, and tickets. This is done by choosing a fund, campaign, or appeal that you have in Bloomerang, specifically in your Givebutter dashboard, so that you can map specific Givebutter campaigns to those locations. What's great here is if you use Givebutter for your peer-to-peer fundraising, all of the soft credit data is going to be tracked in Bloomerang as well. So you can see all of those team member efforts. You can also see your recurring plan data from Givebutter in Bloomerang. And there is an awesome ability to, when a new transaction is sent over into Bloomerang, constituent data being updated inside of the platform. So the Bloomerang integration is similar to the other integrations. When you install, you can just head right to the account settings here, go to Bloomerang and add your API key. When you have your API key uploaded, you'll have the ability to click expand inside of your dashboard here and map each individual Givebutter campaign to a specific fund, campaign, and appeal in Bloomerang. This is really great. We have directions to help you find your API key in our full integration guide here. So Stephen, who's on this call, he wrote this help center guide so that we could find those things. So those directions should be here about how you can find those in your Bloomerang account. Okay, so that's completely free. You can do that at your convenience here. If you have any questions, you could schedule an onboarding with us and we'd be happy to talk you through that as well. Okay. I kind of like these questions in real time instead of saving them for the end. So guys, let me know anything that you're thinking of there. So that is the Bloomerang integration. The next integration I'd like to talk about is ThankView. Okay, great. So ThankView is a native integration similar to the ones that we have already spoken about. This is the ability for you to connect Givebutter campaigns to the bottom of ThankView messages. And this is really powerful because ThankView is a company that allows you to send personalized donor stewardship. And so think emails, videos, just any hyper-personalized thank yous or solicitations. So they have a really great platform, and you create a ThankView account and a Givebutter account, and you're able to use this integration for free. And that will allow you to include Givebutter campaigns in your ThankView solicitations. So they have really cool landing page here. If you're interested in requesting more information from ThankView, if you're not already a ThankView user, you can do that by clicking this info guide here or reaching out to our Givebutter team. So that is really awesome. It's just, combining videos with donor stewardship with the ability to collect or solicit funds. So lots of university clients, large schools, alumni associations over with the ThankView team. Great. So the last piece that I wanted to go over here was Zapier. And so with Givebutter, you have the ability to connect Zapier to thousands of other software applications. And so basically what you're doing is you're navigating to your Givebutter dashboard and again, importing an API key. And with that connection, you can then connect Givebutter to any other platform that you're working with. And so you'll see there's popular ways to connect us. So Givebutter to MailChimp for every new Givebutter transaction that comes in, subscribe someone to this MailChimp list, right? Those sorts of things. If you use something like QuickBooks, sending your payment or transaction information. If your accountant is using Google Sheets and you want to have the most up-to-date list of your transaction history in there, sending to Google Sheets, those sorts of things. What's really cool about this specific page builder is that you can see exactly what information Givebutter can trigger to send information to another platform, or the type of information that the Givebutter platform accepts through an action. So we can see if we filter here by the triggers, it's when a new campaign is created in Givebutter, do this. When a new transaction occurs, etc. Update campaign, new ticket, right? And the actions right now are if something happens in my platform X, create a new contact in Givebutter. So you have the ability to import contact information and transaction information across platform that way. So your possibilities there are really endless. At the top of this web page, I really like the ability to search by whatever platform you might be using, and you'll see if it's there. And then you have the ability to make that connection. Zapier is a platform that also has a cost associated with it based on the amount of data you transfer. Okay, so that is the integration there. We have a help center that completely reviews how to install this in your dashboard. And again, a lot of just cross-linking to some of those best examples. Let me show you here. So when you're signed into Zapier, in your dashboard, you've added your API key, you're going to be able to see some of those popular versions here and create them from scratch. So it'll bring you right to their sign in and editor and you'll be good to go. So I see a few questions here. Why don't I go ahead and take a look? So Jessica said she set up a Zap from Givebutter to Little Green Light, and it's only sending the name and not other information to Little Green Light. That is such a bummer. If you want to use our support chat, you can totally do that. I'll send us an email, support@givebutter.com, with a screenshot of what you have going on, and we can try to give you a hand from there. Thanks, Jessica. Okay, so you're so welcome, Jessica. At this time, I wanted to, I basically reviewed all of the features that I wanted to talk about with integrations, and I would be happy to take any questions that we might have. Some things that I'm thinking about is maybe while everyone on this call is thinking of a question, I can talk about some of the questions that I got when you all signed up and registered. And then we can talk about things on the horizon. We will wrap up your questions and then we can go from there. Okay. So like I said, while I'm getting those questions up, you guys can fill up the Q&A if you have anything on your mind. Great. So some of the things I was asked about for the at the time of sign up was how do we enable text messaging? So a couple, well, maybe one or two deep dives ago, we talked about how text messaging outbound from Engage had been enabled. And one of the ways that you can get that enabled is by going into our Help Center guide. So it's, oops, excuse me. I was trying to link to our Help Center guide. One of the ways that you can do that is going to our Help Center guide. Stephen, it would be great if you could add a link to that guide and fill out the Google form. So we're still doing a Google form right now. We hope that soon that will just be available to anyone who enables Engage, and then automatically, and then to every verified nonprofit automatically. So thanks for hanging on with us. Well, that's still a little bit of a manual process. So if you'd like to enable Engage, you can still do that at any time in your dashboard. So that answers that user's question. So thanks so much for writing those in. Another thing that we were asked was when we're going to get the ability inside of Engage to communicate directly with specific campaign members, so donors, ticket holders, team members, right? Peer-to-peer fundraisers, those sorts of things. And we will see that by the end of the quarter here. So we're really excited to get to launching those advanced filtering capabilities. So looking forward to having a deep dive based around that in the future. Patrick asked, do those integrations have full access of this functionality, or do we need to pay for specific features? So all of the integrations are free, but you have to have the other software to integrate with them or to use this free integration, right? And some of those softwares have associated costs, just like using Givebutter when you process transactions on Givebutter, that's your associated cost, right? We're just not a subscription-based company. So you have to talk to those other organizations about their subscription-based or cost-based. So like, for example, some of those are free up to a certain amount of use, right? So it's just determinant of what your need for them is. So Patrick, any of the specific platforms that you might be interested in, the costing is all listed on those Help Center document pages, which I linked here to send in our follow-up email. Good question, Cynthia. Thanks for writing in. I'm happy to answer this. Our chat support would be able to help you with any verifications. We would be happy to help you get access to any features that are specifically for verified nonprofits while you're waiting in, this in-between stage. So if you have any questions, you can just use the chat support on our website or email support@givebutter.com. So good luck while you're waiting on that. Excellent. So I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to give my last plug for today, and that is the next webinar that we're hosting at Givebutter. So this is hosted by Floyd and Mallory, and it's going to be coming up on April 13th. In this webinar, they're going to break down the truth about what donors really want and how exactly to design automation, segments, and content to meet them where they're at. Mallory uses science-based donor research, experience coaching principles, and behavioral design practices to show us how to create moments that matter so we can raise more funds. And if you know Floyd, if he's going to be there, he'll bring the energy. So I'm excited and hope you can join my team here. You can click on their photo in the follow-up email to register, or check it out in this week's newsletter tomorrow. So I'm going to check out the chat before we log off, but that's mainly what I wanted to go over today. Oh, Grace, thanks for already dropping that webinar link. Very nice. Okay, well, if we don't have any other questions, I will wish everyone a great day. Thanks so much for joining me. And if you've lasted this long in the pre-recording, thank you. You are a real one. Bye, guys.
You turned this from an idea in a dorm room into the #1 rated fundraising platform on the internet.
You raised over $100 million for charitable causes just in the last year.
You are making the world a better place, one gift at a time.